Jeff Hafley's move to Miami marks a quiet but meaningful shift for a franchise that believes its next step forward depends less on star power and more on structure. The Dolphins have officially hired Hafley as their new head coach, giving him his first opportunity to lead an NFL team after serving most recently as defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. This is not a headline driven hire, it is a philosophy driven one. For Miami, the decision reflects a belief that the team's next evolution requires discipline, defensive consistency, and long term development rather than another short burst of offensive fireworks. Hafley arrives without the fanfare of a former Super Bowl winning head coach, but with something the Dolphins clearly value right now: a track record of teaching, organizing, and building systems that improve over time. To understand why this hire matters, you have to understand who Jeff Hafley is and how his career has been shaped. Hafley's path to this moment did not follow the traditional fast track. He built his resume through years of coaching in the secondary, learning defense from the ground up. His reputation was forged not through blitz heavy spectacle, but through attention to detail, coverage discipline, communication, alignment, the unglamorous elements that separate good defenses from inconsistent ones. That background became more visible during his time with the Packers. In Green Bay, Hafley was tasked with stabilizing a defense that often flashed potential but struggled with cohesion. His approach emphasized fundamentals over improvisation, simplifying responsibilities, improving tackling, reducing mental errors. The results weren't always immediate, but the defense showed clearer structure and accountability. That matters in Miami. The Dolphins have been defined in recent seasons by offensive identity, speed, creativity, explosiveness. But when games tightened, especially late in the season, the defense often struggled to close, missed assignments, coverage breakdowns, inconsistency at critical moments. Hafley is being brought in to address that imbalance. This hire signals a philosophical recalibration. Miami is not abandoning offense, but it is acknowledging that sustainable success requires balance. Hafley's defensive mindset suggests a team that wants to dictate terms rather than react to them. What makes this hire especially notable is that it represents Hafley's first NFL head coaching job. That introduces both opportunity and uncertainty. First time head coaches bring fresh perspective, but they also face steep learning curves, managing a full staff, handling media pressure, balancing game management with long term planning. Hafley will be stepping into those responsibilities without prior NFL head coaching experience. Miami is clearly comfortable with that risk. The organization appears to believe that Hafley's strengths translate well beyond play calling. His reputation as a teacher and communicator is central to why he was chosen. In today's NFL, where defensive complexity can overwhelm younger players, clarity is a competitive advantage. That clarity is what Hafley is expected to provide. Staff construction will be one of his earliest defining moments. As a defensive minded coach, his offensive coordinator hire will draw immediate scrutiny. Miami's offense has been its calling card, and maintaining that identity while adding structure elsewhere will require careful balance. Hafley's success will depend heavily on empowering the right voices around him. Quarterback development remains critical. Even the most explosive offenses stall without protection, timing, and adaptability. Hafley's defensive background may influence how the Dolphins think about complementary football, building offenses that manage games rather than chase points exclusively. This is where long term vision comes into focus. Miami is not making this hire to win a press conference, they are making it to build something durable. Hafley's age, energy, and teaching background suggest a coach who could grow with the roster rather than cycle through it. That approach aligns with a franchise looking to stabilize its identity after years of fluctuation. There will be skepticism. Any first time head coach faces it, especially when stepping into a team with playoff expectations. Hafley will be judged early on how prepared his team looks, how disciplined it plays, and whether defensive improvements are visible week to week. Wins will matter, but process will matter first. The Dolphins' front office appears willing to invest time rather than demand immediate perfection. That patience will be tested quickly in a competitive AFC environment, but it also gives Hafley the runway necessary to implement real change. This hire is about trust in teaching, trust in structure, trust in growth over time. Jeff Hafley is stepping into a role that will define his career. For Miami, he represents a belief that the next step forward isn't about adding more speed or more flash, but about tightening the framework that supports everything else. Whether that belief proves correct will unfold over seasons, not weeks. But what's clear now is that the Dolphins have chosen a coach whose strengths lie in building from the inside out, someone who values precision over noise and sustainability over shortcuts. Jeff Hafley's first NFL head coaching job begins not with spectacle, but with intent. And for Miami, that may be exactly the point.